The Ozempic crash is absolutely wiping out billions from big food. But here's the thing. Where billions are lost, new fortunes are made. If you know where to look.
Welcome to World of AI Ideas. So today, we're not just going to look at the crash. No, we are diving deep to reveal 3 profitable gaps in this new GLP-1 economy. Gaps that you can actually build a business in.
All right, first things first, we need to get a handle on just how big this disruption really is. See, the rise of GLP-1 drugs, it isn't just a ripple in the pond. It's a seismic shockwave. And the data? Well, it's pretty stunning.
Okay, look at this number. This isn't some guess or a forecast. This is a direct hit. We're talking about Hershey's verified decline in candy sales, a 20.7% drop in a single quarter. And they're not alone, not by a long shot. PepsiCo saw its volume drop too. This crash, oh, it is very, very real.
But here's the key insight, the part you really need to grasp. People on these GLP-1s, they aren't stopping spending, not at all. They are shifting it. All that money is moving away from what we call hedonistic consumption, snacks, alcohol, that kind of stuff, and it's flowing right into wellness. I mean, look at this. Junk food spending is down, but protein shake spending, it's up a whopping 38%. So the wealth isn't disappearing, it's just migrating.
And that migration, now that brings us right to the real opportunity. See, this isn't about trying to go head-to-head with the giants. No way. This is about building something in the massive service gap they've left wide open for the taking.
This right here, this captures the entire idea. Think about it. You've got big pharma handling the drug. You've got big food scrambling to pivot to protein. But who's taking care of the person in the middle? The actual patient who's trying to navigate this brand new lifestyle. That, right there, that is the gap.
Okay, let's slow things down a bit. It's time to get into our first actionable business idea. And this one, well, it tackles a really serious medical side effect that's creating a massive need in the market. The problem has a name: sarcopenia. You see, when people lose weight this fast on these drugs, they don't just lose fat. They lose a dangerous amount of muscle mass too. And this is not something a generic personal trainer or a simple diet plan can fix. No, this requires a highly specialized approach.
So what's the business? It's a hyper-specialized coaching service. Let's call it Strength for GLP-1. Imagine this. You're creating a program that's all about high-protein meal planning and resistance training protocols, all specifically designed to fight that muscle wasting. You're not just selling another weight loss program here. You're selling health preservation. You're solving a critical medical problem that, let's be honest, doctors just don't have the time to deal with.
All right, on to our second gap. This one is totally different. It's not about biology, it's about sociology. We're talking about a huge behavioral shift that's creating a vacuum in the multi-billion-dollar social scene. Just look at that number, 64%. That's not a typo. Verified data shows that heavy drinking GLP-1 users cut their alcohol intake by a staggering 64%. Why? Because the drug literally makes drinking less rewarding. For this group of people, this is basically an extinction-level event for the kind of social life that's built around alcohol.
You know, in sociology, there's this concept called the third place. It's basically where we hang out. That isn't home, that's the first place, or work, the second place. And for decades, that's been the bar, right? The pub. But what happens when a growing, wealthy, super health-conscious group of people just stops drinking? Where do they go? Suddenly, the traditional third place just doesn't work for them anymore.
So the opportunity is crystal clear. Build the new third place. And the business model is pretty straightforward. You target this high-income, health-focused crowd, and you create these high-end, non-alcoholic social lounges. I'm talking sophisticated mocktail bars, premium tea lounges, places that have the cool, social vibe of a pub, but without any of the alcohol. Trust me, they've got the money to spend. They just need a place to spend it.
Okay, and now for our third and final gap. This one's a little different. Instead of selling to the patient directly, this idea is all about solving a billion-dollar headache for the pharmaceutical companies themselves. 55%. This is the number that absolutely keeps pharma execs up at night. On average, more than half of all patients quit taking these blockbuster drugs within the first year. That's not a leak, that's a massive hole in the bucket.
This has a name. It's called the Churn problem. And the main reasons people quit? Well, they're things that can be managed, like side effects, especially nausea, and of course, the high cost. Every single patient that quits or churns represents a huge loss in lifetime value for the drug companies.
So believe me, they are extremely motivated to find a solution.
So the business here is what's called adherence technology, specifically a B2B SaaS product. You'd build a companion app for patients. But hold on, it's not just another health tracker. Its core features are laser-focused on fighting that churn problem. We're talking a nausea tracker to help manage side effects, reminders for hydration, for meal timing, things that make a real difference. See, you're not just building another app for consumers, you're building a powerful retention tool that you can license directly to the pharma giants for a nice recurring fee.
So, there you have it. We've seen the market crash, we've analyzed the massive spending shift, and we've pinpointed 3 very distinct, very actionable gaps in this new GLP-1 economy.
Look, a multi-billion-dollar wealth transfer is happening right now, in real time. The real opportunities here, the Sarcopenia coach, the sober social, the retention app, they aren't on the front lines. They're in the service gap that the big players left behind. Those gaps are wide open, so the only question left is, which one are you going to fill?
If you want more deep dives into market gaps just like these to help you find your next big idea, make sure you subscribe to World of AI Ideas.